Welcome to chair yoga for the care of Waldenstrom's macroglobulinemia. I'm so glad that you found your way here today, and I hope that you can spend the next hour taking a little self-care break with me, whether you have Waldenstrom's or not. Over the last year plus, I've had the pleasure of working with the IWMF as the community yoga instructor. Our classes are well attended by folks from all over the country into Canada and even Europe. Together, we have spent hundreds of hours sharing a safe space while navigating some really big challenges that come with this rare diagnosis. While everyone with Waldenstrom's is affected differently, today we're going to move the breath and body to address fatigue, compromised immune system health, peripheral neuropathy, balance issues, and I'll also offer some tools to manage stress, which should probably go right up to the top of the list. We're going to remain seated for a lot of this class, but there will be some standing, and that is optional, and we will use the chair for support. I just want to remind you that yoga is a time-honored mind-body practice that has been shown to improve both physical and psychological well-being. Cancer survivors, including those recently diagnosed, have reported better sleep, less stress, and improved mood and quality of life with the consistent practice of yoga. But I will leave it to the words of one of our chair yoga practitioners who wrote in during the pandemic this beautiful quote. Yoga is an oasis of calm in a world becoming increasingly narrowed for us immunocompromised. So with that in mind, let's get started in creating our own oasis of calm. Let's get started just by rubbing the hands together, and we'll give the eyes a break. You may have been staring at a monitor already or a computer for a little while now. So I'll just loosely cup my palms over my eyes and take a moment to take a break from the stimulus. You could close the eyes and roll the eyes around gently in the eye sockets, just lubricating the eyes with nourishing fluids. And maybe taking a moment just to connect with your intention to take care of yourself today. And find an easy breath in. And you could sigh it out the mouth. And take another easy breath in through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out the mouth. And one more like that. Taking a little space between the fingers now, letting a little light in, and slowly blinking the eyes open. And releasing the hands down by the sides. You could roll the shoulders up, back, and down a few times. Some of us may have been sitting for a while, so it could feel good to do just a few simple movements. I like to take my arms out to the sides. And then as I inhale, I'll push my chest forward, bring my arms back. As I exhale, I'll slowly bring my arms forward, cross the wrists, pull the arms a little farther away from the body, maybe round the back a little bit. And we'll do that, inhaling arms wide. Exhaling, rounding gently, cross the opposite wrist on top. Inhaling, opening. Exhaling, closing. And one more like that with the opposite wrist on top. And then coming up to sit and taking the hands into the lap for a moment and finding the ground underneath your feet. I like to rock my feet a little bit, lifting the toes, lifting the heels, and really noticing that connection that my feet make with the earth, And if I am not feeling a whole lot of sensation in my feet today, I'm going to bring my awareness to my feet. We have a saying in yoga that where the awareness goes, energy flows. I find that very useful. Taking the feet to the earth, noticing the seat in the chair. Sitting up nice and tall and relaxing the shoulders down as we come into a good posture for deeper breathing. Some of us who experience lower levels of energy at times could do a world of good just by sitting up a little taller, bringing the shoulders back, and creating a lot of space for the breath to move. So taking an easy breath in through the nose and out through the nose or mouth. And you could close the eyes if that would feel comfortable for you, breathing in, breathing out. See if you can perhaps soften the belly and allow the belly to fill with the breath. Let it all hang out, as I like to say. And when we're able to more deeply breathe, using the diaphragm pushing down, the belly pushing out, we can even stimulate the movement of lymph fluid. So there might be some days where you don't feel like doing much. You can take some deeper breaths, do some belly breathing. Seeing if you could find just 3 more belly breaths. This also helps with down regulation, so that can support the rest, digest, and heal side of the nervous system. Very good. Once again, I'll just rub my hands together. I'll interlace my fingers and squeeze my hands, give my hands a little massage, and then I'll push my palms away and kind of bring a little bit of motion into my finger joints. One of our goals every time we get together is to move a little bit in a lot of places, to move all the joints. If it would feel comfortable, you could lift the arms up as far as feels safe. And if it's too much, you could point the palms down. And we might take a little movement to the side and the other side with the sit bones remaining anchored down. Breathing in 1 more on each side. Finding what feels good to you today, letting yourself be your own guide. As we drop the arms down, you can grab on to the edges of the chair and push the heart forward, squeeze the shoulder blades. So I'm doing the opposite of hunching over my computer now, lifting the heart and creating all this space in my chest. If it would feel good, you could lift your head up a little bit, lift the chin up a little bit. And then releasing from there, I'll let the arms just dangle for a moment. And I'll take some movement into my arms with the arms out to the sides and a little bit back. Push the chest forward, inhale. Breathing out, rounding the back a little bit. And you could sit up and give yourself a hug for taking this time for self-care. And then we'll release the arms, and I'll invite you to just roll the wrists for a moment as we head into one of my very, very favorite breath practices called bee's breath or Bhramari pranayama. In Bhramari pranayama, we are creating the sound of humming, like that of a bee droning in the garden. And so I find it really helpful to place a hand on the heart and a hand on the belly so that I can be in touch with this vibration that I'm going to be making in my body with the sound. And there's so many benefits to this practice. It's pretty eye-opening to me to have learned that when we're humming, we are helping deliver more quickly an antiviral gas called nitric oxide to the respiratory system. So you can hum your way to health. This helps boost the immune system. Breathing in through the nose. Exhale, humming with the mouth closed. Inhaling. Never forcing it. You could take 2 more bees breaths with me. Very good. Releasing the hands down and just allowing a moment for that vibration to resonate. For me, it literally drowns out some of the, mental thought loops that I can get myself into. I love bees breath. We practice it a lot in our classes. So let's take a little bit of a wider stance and find a stable base. And I'll begin to move my torso in a circular direction, just stirring the pot. Moving in a small, subtle way or a big, dramatic way, depending on how you're feeling today. Moving with the breath. Perhaps coming in the other direction now, if you're ready to do so. And maybe 1 or 2 more circles. And then we'll come back up to center, and I'll stretch my right hand down inside my right leg here, or just rest the hand on top of the knee. And I'll lift the left arm up to whatever degree feels safe and stretch my body over to the right side. So I should feel a little stretch in the left side of my body, breathing in, breathing out. Another breath in, breath out. Coming back up and releasing that left hand into the left leg. Inhaling the right arm up and over, reaching to the left. Breathing into the right side body, keeping the sit bones rooting down. Good, and then we'll release from there. And I'll just take my hands onto my knees and pick up my heels and then pick up my toes. Get a little bit of juice into the lower limbs. And I'll gradually and slowly walk my feet back to a hips width distance position. And then from here, I'll bring even more movement into the lower body. So let's stretch the right leg out, and you can rest the heel on the earth. And I'm just going to point and flex my foot a few times, like I'm stepping on the gas pedal, pressing the foot down and up. A few times like that. And then when you're ready, you can switch sides. And this was one of the exercises recommended by the exercise physiologist Nancy Campbell for peripheral neuropathy. So something that you could add to your daily routine, these foot pumps. And of course, moving the lower limbs, the feet, the legs, the ankles, is wonderful. So we keep the blood moving. And we know that with Waldenstrom, sometimes the blood can thicken and clots can form, which can lead to serious issues. So keeping the lower limbs moving, even if you're not getting up and moving around out of your chair a lot, you can still move the lower limbs. And one of my other favorite exercises she gave was to do, to write the ABCs with your toe. So you could literally you could lift the foot up. For me, it's a little bit easier to do it with the foot up. And you could trace an A, a B, and a C with your foot. Or you could make any other shapes that you like. You could write the name of your pet with your foot. And switching sides, tracing the letters of the alphabet or a favorite word. And then releasing from there. Let's take a moment to attend to the head and the neck. This is an area where a lot of us tend to feel stress and tension. So all I'll be doing is tilting my right ear towards my right shoulder, coming back to neutral, and tilting my left ear towards my left shoulder. Breathing into center, breathing out, tilting to the right. And I'm going to relax my shoulders. My shoulders aren't moving with this, just my head. Moving from side to stretch the upper trap muscles and the muscles that go from the head to the shoulders. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And coming back to center, I'll bring my right arm out to the right. And I'll start to make a circle with my palm. Tilting my left ear towards my left shoulder, I'll slowly descend the palm down. And then I'll tuck my arm behind my back with the palm facing away. I'll take a breath in. As you exhale, you can spin the chin down. Take a peek at the left shoulder, breathing in, breathing out. And another breath here. Coming back up and switching sides, bringing that left arm out to the left like you're holding up a wall. Slowly beginning to circle the palm in one direction as we tilt the right ear towards the right shoulder, the palm descending downward slowly. And then we'll tuck the wing behind the back, palm facing away. Take a breath in. Exhale, spin the chin down, finding the breath as we peek down at that right shoulder. And then slowly releasing back up and bringing the hands down at the sides. You could take a moment maybe to march in place. Lifting opposite arm and opposite leg. So you can notice that some of the places where my body folds, such as the hip creases and my armpits, are moving, and these are the places where I have lymph nodes. And since the lymph system does not have a pump of its own, I have to do the work. I have to pump my own lymph fluid, which is very important in carrying the waste away and bringing the white blood cells So you can move the body like this. Even in a chair, you can pump the lymph. And we'll do chair sun salutations in a moment, which is one of the very best for that. And from here, I'll bring the arms down at the sides. Inhaling the arms out and up. Exhale the hands down through the midline of the body. Breathing in, arms rise. Breathing out, hands to heart center. You could even close the eyes. Do this at your own pace. And if you have any issues going on in the shoulders, you don't have to go as high up as I am. You can modify in any way. Breathing in, reaching up. Breathing out, those palms pressing together. Inhaling, arms rise. Exhaling, hands to heart center. And again, anytime we move the arms up over the collarbone, we're also pumping the lymph fluid. So this can be something you can do throughout the day to help with the immune system. And maybe one more. And we'll bring the hands down to heart center in this gesture of Anjali Mudra, which means divine salutations. So I could close my eyes just for a moment and envision all of the other practitioners in this moment, even if they're watching this at a different time, knowing that I am not alone, knowing that I share this connection in this moment, in this breath. And I can send little tendrils of support out to those of us who might be experiencing some really big challenges today. And I could be open to also receiving that support. And as you're ready, you can just release your Anjali Mudra and shake the hands out. All right, so I would love to share with you chair sun salutations. I'm going to do this series of movements very slowly at first, and then we'll do another round together a little faster. For those of us who are caring for low back issues or osteoporosis or osteopenia, we want to steer clear, we might want to steer clear of really rounding the back or folding forward too deeply. So before we do this chair sun salutations, I want to sort of explore what would it feel like to come forward? And is this something, how far do I want to go? Do I want to go all the way down here? Do I want to rest my hands on my legs so that we can determine during the sequence what is your forward fold? And the forward fold can look like anything. It could look like this, right? So however far feels good for you, and just determining that now. If you're somebody who experiences glaucoma, you would keep the head lifted, or vertigo, or you get dizzy from your meds, you keep the head lifted. So let's give these chair sun salutations a try. We've already done some of the movement with our arm salutes. So I'll take my arms at the sides. Inhale the arms out and up. Exhale, take a slow fold forward as far as feels safe. Inhale, come up a little bit with a nice flat back. Exhale the hands out, straight in front. Pull the core in. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, sweep the arms back, grab onto the chair. Inhale, lift the heart, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, once again, reaching forward, leaning forward. And one last time, we're going to lift the arms up and bring the hands to heart center. So that's one sun salutation. Let's try another one. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, slow fold forward, no hurry. Inhale, lift up a little bit. Exhale, sweep the arms forward into our chair pose here. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, swing the arms back, grab onto your chair. Inhale, lift the heart, squeeze the shoulder blades, arch the back. Exhale, once again, reaching forward, pulling the core in. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. So we've been really doing a great job pumping the lymph fluid, and I want to do one more with you. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, slow fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, reach the arms forward. Inhale, rising all the way up, arms lift. Exhale, swing the arms back behind you. Inhale, lift the heart, squeeze the shoulder blades, arch. Exhale, reaching forward, pulling the core in. And one last time, inhale the arms up. And exhale the hands to heart center, and just for a moment, rest. With the hands at heart center, thumbs resting on the sternum. And in this moment, I'll invite you to find one thing that you're grateful for in this moment. Finding one thing, it could be something really small that you're grateful for today. And then releasing the hands down. So let's get ready to take a standing posture. If today is not the day for you to stand and you'd rather stay seated, of course you can do that. I invite you to make your own decisions about your body. But if you would like to stand, I'll invite you to do so really mindfully and slowly. So I'm going to just start to bring a little momentum with my nose over my knees. And you'll notice that my gaze is lifted to where I want to go. I want to go up. I don't want to go down. Pressing my hands into my thighs and getting ready to stand. The final piece of my puzzle here is my breath. So I'll inhale and push into the thighs and stand up slowly. And you can come around to the back of your chair and rest both hands on the back of the chair. And I'll just turn to the side so you can see me. You could take this moment to take a little sip of water, readjust anything about your setting, and then meet me back in a standing posture. You could spend a moment or two really sensing the feet. And again, that could be just the awareness, your mental awareness going down to your feet if sensation is limited today. Spreading the toes wide apart and planting them back down. Lifting the toes, spreading them wide, planting them back down. And maybe the toes cooperate, maybe they don't. You might try to press just the big toes down and lift all the little toes. Press all the little toes down and lift just the big toes. Maybe this is just something you're doing mentally, or maybe the feet are able to follow along. So we like to start with the foundation of our balance, which is our feet. Many of us experiencing balance challenges, whether that's due to peripheral neuropathy or aging or other injuries. We can do a little bit of balance practice every day, and that goes a long, long way. And this is one of the things I would recommend, working with the feet. Now I'm going to come up onto my tiptoes. This is another one I would recommend and was recommended by our exercise physiologist for peripheral neuropathy, rising up onto the tiptoes and coming down onto the heels and going really slowly, lifting and sinking. You could even bring a little arm movement into it, inhaling the arm up. Maybe it's one arm, maybe the other hand is holding onto the chair, or maybe you'd like to try to lift both arms up and float your way back down. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, floating down. And you might take one more like that. and slowly come down. That's very good. And then just walk it out. So we know that standing up and doing weight-bearing poses is great for osteoporosis. Some of us might be experiencing that as a result of medications we're taking or due to aging. And we also, there's a wonderful study that was done that shows that yoga can, certain types of yoga, certain kind of yoga done right can improve your bone density scores. So reach out and talk to me about that if you're interested. I'm going to take a little stretch here. So I'll come to the back of my chair and I'll walk my feet back, and I'm going to do a version of downward facing dog, which you might be familiar with. You could do this with the hands on the wall or countertop. My feet are about hips width distance apart. If you feel really tight in your hamstrings, you could bend the knees a little bit. And again, keeping the head lifted if you get dizzy or got glaucoma. If you felt safe doing so, you could come down a little bit deeper and feel the tail wagging. And then find a little bit of stillness, find the breath, inhaling, exhale. Feel the back of the lungs lifting, releasing. And you could take maybe one more like that. And then I'm going to slowly come up and take some steps towards the back of my chair. My feet will be about hips width distance apart. And I'm going to bend my knees gently and bring my hips back. With my hips back, I'm also going to notice what I call my pelvic bowl. And I'm going to let the pelvic bowl tilt back a little bit, and that helps me with my low back, kind of taking a little bit of the load. And then I'll come up out of that. So that's our little mini chair pose light. If you like, you can bring the arms straight up. So I'll take a breath in, and as I exhale, I'll sink down. Or you could keep one hand on the chair. Inhaling and lifting up. Exhaling and sinking down. Finding that strength, breathing in, breathing out. Inhale and exhale. And then slowly coming up, we'll step the right foot forward and bring the left foot back at a little bit of an angle as we make our way to warrior one. I'm going to bend and straighten into my right knee a few times. And then I'll stay with my right knee bent. And again, noticing my pelvic bowl, I tend to kind of really tip forward, spilling out of the front. And with this pose in particular, I've grown to actually really like it when I first didn't. At first I didn't like it, with a little bit of a tuck, right? So I'm tilting my pelvic bowl back, and I'm squeezing my left glute muscle. I could keep my right hand on the chair, sweep the left arm up, and back and over. So taking a circle with that left arm, inhale, lift, up and over, to whatever degree is possible for you today. We'll do one more. And then you could reset here, straightening the front leg and hopping the back foot forward for a little bit of a shorter stance. Inhaling, and as you exhale, folding forward and bringing the forearms down onto the back of your chair. Kind of reset, stabilize in any way that feels good for you. I'm going to notice whether I'm jutting my chin forward here and tuck my chin a little bit, tip my pelvic bowl back, and if I have a little farther to travel, I could bring the hands down onto the seat of the chair. Take a breath in, breath out, another breath in, and breath out. And then I'm walking myself up nice and slow. And I'll get ready to transfer the weight into my right foot. All I'm going to do is kick up through my back heel and come back down. See if I can lift from the back of my left knee and release down. And you could take a few more like that. I could feel the work in my left glute and my lower back. And if you like, you could keep the leg lifted. It doesn't have to be far off the ground. Or I could try to get my torso a little bit more parallel with the earth. Taking one more breath and then releasing from there. And just noticing how the different sides feel of the body. We've done the right side. We'll take a few hip circles in between sides with a little bit of a wider stance. Moving in one direction and the next. Good. And then we'll come back to the chair. Step the left foot forward, right foot back. Bend and straighten into that left knee. And keeping the left knee bent, I'll notice my pelvic bowl, tip that back a little bit, squeeze my right glute muscle so I'm protecting my hip. And you should feel a little stretch in the front of the right hip. I'll sweep my right arm up, breathing in. Exhaling, opening and circling the arm all the way around. Inhale, arms rising, just the one arm. Exhale. Seeing how this feels, making any modifications that I need today. Last one. And then resetting, shortening the stance. I'll take a breath in and take a bow. Take a bow for all the good work you're doing, taking care of yourself, staying present. So I'll tilt my pelvic bowl back a little bit. And if I have a little more room to travel, I could bring my hands to the seat, tenting my fingertips, breathing in, breathing out. You could take a soft bend to that left knee if that feels like too much. Relaxing the jaw, relaxing the shoulders. Chin is tucked. And then making your way back up and beginning to pour the weight into this left foot. Getting a little balance challenge here as we pick up the right heel and lift it, kick it, and come back down. Take a little donkey kick, release, and do a few of these. Doesn't matter how high. Maybe you would like to try holding the leg up for a little bit with the toe pointing down, tilting that pelvic bowl back to, disperse the effort across the low back. And then slow release from there. Walk it out. Can you feel that in the hips and the glutes? So walk it out. You could take opposite arm, opposite leg. And I hope that you'll think about this, or maybe it'll pop into your mind the next time you're out on a walk, to use the arms. Use the arms as a counterbalance for when you're walking. And again, the idea behind this is that we're dispersing the effort across the whole body. A little bit of movement in a lot of places is much more efficient, right, than walking with just the legs, right? So I can feel a little easier in my walking. And many of us love to walk, and that's such a great exercise, as we know that exercise is the #1 intervention for cancer-related fatigue. And it could be yoga, it could be walking, it could be our cardio flow class. So whatever floats your boat. It could be rowing. And when you're ready, you can step into a little bit of a wider stance. We're going to lift the right arm up and come up onto the right tiptoe. Take a big breath in, release back down. Inhale, lift the left arm, come up onto the left tiptoe, relax the right shoulder. release back down. Inhale, right arm, reach, right tiptoe. Come on back down. Left arm lift, left tiptoe. Come on back down. And then this last time, we're gonna lift up onto the tiptoe and hold as we were reaching for a rope here, keeping that length. And then on the next exhalation, see if you can slowly bring the heel back down. Keep the length in that right side body. And then come back to neutral. Inhale, left arm lift, left tiptoe lift. Grab the rope. Exhale the heel down. Keep the length. And then we'll just take the arms out to the sides and do a little loose twist here. Let the hips be easy and free. As we like twists, really gentle, gentle twists to stimulate digestion, to help with lubricating the dried out discs in the back. Lower back. Some of us have degenerative disc disease. You might take one or two more like that. And you'll notice I'm keeping my head fairly steady, right, so I don't get dizzy. And then you could come back and take the hands out to the sides like a cactus. I'm going to inhale and squeeze my shoulders together, and exhale, come to neutral. And you could do another one like that, squeezing the shoulders, bringing the elbows back, releasing to neutral. And one more like that. And then give yourself a hug, one arm on top, doesn't matter which one. And then we'll do another set, but we'll do something a little bit different with the feet. So you might want to hold on to the chair for this. The toes are going to point out to the sides. And I'm going to sink down in a little bit, bending my knees, tipping my pelvic bowl back. And I'm really strong through my glutes and my legs here. So maybe I just bring one arm out to the side. And I could squeeze that one shoulder and switch sides and squeeze the other. Or I could bring both arms out, taking a goddess shoulder squeeze. And then coming up out of this, giving myself one last hug, opposite arm on top, if you can remember. And release from there. Walk it out, grab a sip of water. And meet me back on the mat with the feet together. Taking a balance challenge now. The feet coming together already puts me into a little bit of a challenge. And this could be the place you want to stay. You could just work with standing with the feet together. You could try closing the eyes and noticing how that challenges the balance. And then we'll take a step onto our imaginary balance beam. I'm going to step my right foot in front of my left with the heel to toe. I'll take a little bend to my knees, take the weight into both feet, and I'm almost pushing the feet apart isometrically. And then I'm working towards letting go of using the chair, but you can always use the chair if you need it. And if this is too easy, you can shift the gaze from side to side. Looking to the right, looking to the left, looking up, looking down, and then releasing from that, walking it out. And we'll take the other side. Feet together, step the left foot in front of the right. Soft knees, belly tucked. Walking that tightrope. And if it's in your practice today, you could shift the gaze from side to side or up and down, or you could close the eyes if that felt safe for you. Not forgetting to breathe. And then releasing from your balance beam. And we'll take one more balance challenge which is our flamingo pose. It's simply standing on one leg. So I'll take a little bendy bounce to my knees. I'll start to pour the weight into my right foot, pick up my left heel. This might be where I stay if I'm really caring for knee or hip issues on this side. I might not want to put full weight. Otherwise, I could lift my foot all the way up and hug the legs together, zip up the core, and maybe you can take one or all of the fingers off of the chair for just a millisecond. That would be great. If this is really easy for you, you could close the eyes and notice how quickly that changes matters. And when you're ready to come out of it, coming out of it slowly, walking it out, kicking out that right leg, getting that synovial fluid moving. And then we'll switch it up. Bendy bounce, weight in the left foot, pick up the right heel. Maybe the toe stays on the ground the whole time. Maybe we pick the leg up, zip the core, and find a moment to just relax into your balance shape today. Sometimes I like to measure the length of my balance pose by the number of breaths. So that could be a good practice. You can do this while the coffee is brewing in the morning. See how many breaths you can stand on one leg for. And releasing from there and walking it out. All right, and then making any other standing movements that the body's asking for. You know, typically in my classes we do a little open, free dance, and I see a lot of really great dance moves. We've got a hula dancer out on the West Coast who she always has such a nice flowing movement. So just letting your body kind of stretch and move in any way you would like before we come to sit and begin to wind down. So let's go ahead and do that. On the way to sitting down, I could even practice a chair pose if I've got a little bit of energy left. So I'll make sure the chair is there. I'll bend my knees ever so gently, pull my weight back, tip my pelvic bowl back, arms reaching straight ahead. Take a breath in. As you exhale, sink down a little deeper. Every exhale gets you a little bit lower until you are all the way down. All right, great job. Just a few little stretches left. So I'll take my right ankle over my left knee. And I'll just give my foot a little rub while I'm here. So foot massage was recommended for those with PN. And it was also something that I read could help with sleep. Just giving a little foot rub. So I like to oil my feet before I go to bed. And that's just a nice self-care practice in and of itself. So if this doesn't feel possible for you, you could modify by just crossing the knee over the knee, or you could cross the ankle over the ankle. I'm going to grab onto my shin, got my foot flexed rather than pointed, flexed. Taking a breath in. As I exhale, I'm going to reach forward and fold forward a little bit. My shoulders are relaxed. I'm not jetting my chin forward. And I'm going to bring my awareness to the sensation I'm experiencing in my right hip. Breathing in, breathing out. Another breath in, breath out. Relax the shoulders. And one more breath. Coming up nice and slow. We'll cross that knee all the way over. Take the arms out to the sides. I love this WM community. So you could maybe hold in your mind's eye the sense that we're all here together in this space. Breathing in, and as you exhale, you can twist to the right and bring the hands down in support of the twist. So I've got one on my leg and one on the chair. And I'm keeping my chin level with the earth. And I'm not over twisting, I'm not forcing it. As I breathe in, I'm getting a little taller. As I breathe out, I might twist a little deeper, using all the muscles in my torso, in my core, my abdomen, my low back to do this. And then when I'm ready to release, doing so gently, coming back to neutral and switching sides, we'll take that left ankle over the right knee if that feels safe for you today. Maybe the side feels different. And take a moment to bring some touch to the bottom of that left foot. Modify this in any way that you need to. As we keep the foot flexed rather than pointed, I'll grab onto my shin, breathe in. Exhale, reach the heart forward. Relaxing the shoulders. Relaxing the jaw, bringing my awareness to the sensation in my hip. A lot of sensation here for me personally. And I'm just going to bring my breath into the equation. Relaxing back up to neutral. We cross the knee over. Fling your arms wide. Take a breath in. As you exhale, slow twist to the left. Use all those muscles in the torso. And then we'll bring the arms down. And my neck is really the last thing that I'm worried about twisting. It's really my whole core and the middle of my body that I'm looking to twist to get the benefits of stimulating digestion, get the benefits of lubricating those dried out discs in the back. So you could peek over the left shoulder, and that would be the final piece of the puzzle for this, is turning the neck. And then slowly unwinding back to center and taking one last stretch, stretching the whole body, making any other movements that the body's asking for. And then taking a moment to get yourself into a really, really comfortable posture. And some of you might want to get up, press pause, get up, and take your computer into the bed with you. Some might want to just turn the computer around and plop yourself down on the couch. Right? You could stay exactly where you are as well, and you might look for like a pillow to place across the lap. So we're going to do a little relaxation practice. All right, so from your comfortable posture, just begin to notice the feeling that your body is making with the earth. So that sensation where your body's touching some support. Maybe it's the feet on the ground, seat in the chair, or maybe you're resting the whole body, the length of the back of the body. And just maybe being open to just receiving a little bit of sound. And letting yourself take a few easy breaths. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose or mouth. Just noticing the quality of your breath compared with the beginning of our practice. As you take an easy breath in, easy breath out. Knowing that we must allow the body to rest as nourishment for the immune system. And sometimes that is the very hardest thing to do is to let ourselves stop and just be. Just rest and do nothing. But by doing nothing, we are doing something. We are healing. We are turning on that parasympathetic side of the nervous system and allowing the body some time to recharge and renew. Taking an easy breath in, easy breath out. Allowing the belly to be soft as it rises and falls. Letting yourself stop doing and just be. Just inhabit the body as a container. Allowing your spirit, allowing your energy or vitality to expand, perhaps outside the edges of your physical body. Knowing that you can stay in this resting, relaxed posture for as long as you like, as long as you need. But if you're ready to come away from it, come out of it, you could take a small stretch. Come up to sit if you're resting on your back. And join me with hands at heart center. As we close our practice today, I just want to invite you to create a consistent self-care practice using the tools of yoga, meditation, and breath work so that you can manage your stress and really just remind yourself that you are not your disease, that you are whole, that you are healthy. Close our practice today with the sound and vibration of one single Om, with hands at heart center, if that is in your practice. Inhaling for Om. Om. Thanking you so much for your practice today. Namaste. And I hope to see you soon. Take good care of yourself until I do.